What's up? Welcome back to the vlog, Detroit Poker. In this video, we're going to be talking about a concept that's probably going to be pretty valuable to some of you. How to adjust to aggressive players at the poker table. I think if you play enough poker, you're going to encounter wild aggressive players, and you're going to need to know how to at least make some adjustments to give yourself a fighting chance. If you've ever found yourself driving home from the casino in absolute silence, talking to yourself, go ahead and mash that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. I decided to film this video out here on a little day hike here at Inwood Trails in Washington Township, Michigan. I've already seen a deer. That was pretty cool. Got pretty close to him too. So how do we adjust to an aggressive player? The first and most important part is we don't have to adjust to an aggressive player. If you're playing 1-2 or 1-3, there's probably going to be other games available for you to play. If it makes you uncomfortable to have a player like that at the table that's just raising and punishing everyone pre-flop and so on and so forth, you could always move to an easier game. If you want to learn how to adjust to them, let's talk about it. First and foremost, let's talk about what not to do. One of the most common adjustments I see other players at the table make to aggressive players is they just continually limp hands, and they're not even strong hands. They just continually limp and then get frustrated and fold. So they're, a lot of players are going to be limp folding a lot, getting real frustrated with this player. The guy's raised the last 5 hands. Why do you think he's going to stop now? Because you're limping in. Just stop doing this immediately. So if you can, get on this player's left, if possible. Ask the dealer for a seat change button, change seats to the left. Second tip, make sure you have money in your pocket to reload if applicable. Like if you get stacked by this guy, it's not the end of the world. You can jump right back in there and he's going to provide multiple opportunities for you to get your money back. The next adjustment you're going to make is play good cards. Just because you're on your left and you have position, don't put yourself in suboptimal spots. Don't call raises with hands like Jack-10 offsuit, 7-8 offsuit. Stop it. Just stop doing that. What I want you to do is determine what range is ahead of this player's range. So let's just say they're an aggressive, a loose aggressive player. They're playing nearly every hand and they're aggressive every single hand. What's their range? I don't know, the deck. So they're playing a really wide range, right? Well, I don't know, pick a range that's ahead of that. So if you want to make the game easy and simple for yourself, don't play anything you're not willing to stack off with. It's real simple. So let's just construct an easy range for you to remember. Pocket 10s plus, ace-jack suited, maybe ace-10 suited. I don't know about ace-10 suited. Let's just say ace-jack suited, ace-queen offsuit or suited, ace-king offsuit or suited. That's your range. If you get these type of hands against this player, what do we do next? Okay, so you got a hand in that range. Here's your aggressive player raising in early position. You look down, ace-queen suited. Okay, this is part of my range. I'm going to play this hand versus this player. What do you think is the optimal decision? I hope you didn't say call, because that's not what I want you to do. I want you to put the aggression right back at this player. Once you've found a hand that meets your criteria for the range that you're going to play against this player, I want you to 3-bet these players relentlessly. 3-bet them. Anything that you're going to play, I want you to try at all costs to be in position. Any hand that you play, it's going to be easier to play in position. And number 2, 3-bet. Answer aggression with aggression. But you got to make sure you understand that if you 3-bet and start shoveling money in with these hands, you better be able to take the punishment if you lose. If you can't take the punishment and you're just going to run out of there the minute this guy stacks you, then you shouldn't be in a game like this. You should just sit in an easier game. You should play lower variance, whatever. See, one thing you got to realize is that if you find yourself in a game with a player like this, not only is this player going to put money up for grabs, he's going to tilt everyone at the table. So all these players are going to be on tilt too because they're getting so frustrated by this player. So even if you get stacked, let's say you lose 100 big blinds, I'm telling you, man, 5 minutes later, you could find a spot where you can get that money back plus some. Not only from the aggressive player, but from some other guy that's at the table that's on life tilt because the aggressive player busted them. These are what good games are all about. about people spewing money and you being the benefactor. If you don't have thick skin, just don't even get involved in this war. So you 3-bet the guy, okay? You go to the flop, he calls you. Of course he calls because he's an aggressive player and he wants to see every flop, okay? Ace, queen suited, you go to the flop, 10, 7, 3 rainbow. All you have is a backdoor flush draw. The aggressive guy checks it over to you. What do you think is the correct course of action on this flop? Okay, I hope you didn't say c-bet. If we're going to be continuation betting against a player like this, understand that they do have potential to check raise you. They're aggressive. They hate money. They want to play poker hands. So don't give them the opportunity to check raise you and put you in an awful spot. Just check it through. Maybe you could turn top pair. Maybe you could turn a flush draw. Maybe you could turn some sort of equity. And if they check you again on the turn, you could always delayed c-bet. This aggressive player might think you have aces and you're slow playing him. So use your position to your advantage. And I don't want you c-bet bluffing if you don't have any equity, because you need equity to fall back on if you're going to c-bet bluff. Backdoor flush draw and 2 over cards, probably not enough. You're probably going to get called, you know, against a degenerate gambler or aggressive player. So to make things simple, I would advise you just to play straightforward. If you 3-bet him pre-flop and you don't make a hand, you can try to put all sorts of pressure on him and everything, but if it backfires, is it going to tilt you? If you just dust off a stack and the guy wins all your money, like what's that going to do to your game? Are you going to get up and leave? Are you going to be on tilt now and not be able to play correctly? Just think about all these things before you start c-bet bluffing. So that being said, I would advise you just to play pretty straightforward. 3-bet them pre-flop relentlessly. If you flop top pair or whatever, you flop a good hand, just bet. Don't try to get fancy and trap the guy or slow play or anything like that. Just bet your hand for value if you got it. If you don't have anything, you don't have any pair, any draw, don't be shoveling money into the pot. It's that simple. So what? You 3-bet the guy. Let's say he opens 12 bucks. You 3-bet him to $40. You go to the flop. You don't flop anything. He checks, you check. Turn nothing. He bets. You don't have anything. You have no pair, no draw. You just got the ace, queen high. Just fold. Just fold. It's only $40. You can't win every single hand you play. Just understand that. You're playing range versus range. And if you're going to a flop, sometimes you're going to miss and they're going to connect. And that's just the way of life. You can't force it. Save the money for better spots. I think that's pretty good advice. Just play straightforward. Doyle Brunson, I'm going to paraphrase. I'm sure I'm not going to get this quote right. But Doyle Brunson had a quote, and it's something along the lines of, do the opposite of what your table's doing. So like if your table's playing really loose, you play really tight. If your table's playing really tight, play really loose. So in this scenario, this villain's playing really loose. And how do we adjust to that? Play really tight. And if you're in a wild game where there's a lot of people shoveling money into pots and they, you know, with bullshit hands, I think it's fair to say you're not going to be able to do a lot of bluffing at this game unless you're very, very skilled. And I think players that are very skilled, they don't need to watch this video, but I'm just going to assume that you're trying to learn your way at poker. So just play really tight. Bluffing's not necessary. How you're going to exploit these players is by making hands and just value betting relentlessly. That's how you exploit them, in my humble opinion. So if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Don't forget I offer one-on-one private coaching via Zoom. I coach players that are trying to become profitable at 1-2 or 1-3. If you want some more information about it, shoot me an email at livepokerplayer8@gmail.com or take a look at my website, detroitpoker.net. Until next time, smash flops, stack everyone, exercise good self-discipline, and keep yourself in the game. I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.